You know, the topic of exterior decorating doesn't come up that often through the colder months of the year. However, as soon as the temperature rises above the 50s, people start thinking about those projects outdoors. Well, painting or replacing siding is the tried and true exterior summer project. Now, this one is close to Matt's heart since he was a school teacher for a while, and like many other teachers, he picked up a summer job basically painting houses. Now, it's true that the siding on your home is the largest surface on the exterior. Any changes there will make an extreme difference in the appearance of your home. But there's another surface that is nearly 30%. That's 1/3 of your home's exterior, and it is sorely overlooked. It's your garage door. Now, when your garage door faces the street, it is a major part of the finished appearance of your home. In fact, a change in your garage door could prevent you from having to paint your siding for a year or two, because a new one could make that much of an impact. Now, even if you have a side entrance garage, like this one, and you're the only ones who see it, aren't you worth it? It's the garage door, the first thing that you see when you approach your home. So, it should be beautiful and welcoming, and project your personality just like the rest of your home. Now, I want to talk to you about a new door first, and how to select the right color and style, but then Matt will discuss updating your current garage door. Now, there are functional reasons to installing a new garage door, like the marvelous insulation properties, high R values, interlocking panel construction, but right here, really what I want to talk about is just how your garage door can beautify your home. So, if 1/3 of your home's exterior is garage door, then it's probably the second most important element that impacts the curb appeal of your home. Now, because of this and the fact that your garage door should reflect the style of your home first, attention must be paid to what style you select. Now, fortunately, there are some designs that never go out of style. They're timeless and classic, and I'm standing in front of one of those classic styles, the carriage door. Can you picture the beauty of those 1800s carriage houses? They had the tall roof lines, warm gas lights, and of course the elegant handcrafted wooden doors with their black iron details. Now, carriage doors have enough variations that you can place them on pretty much any style home, traditional as well as contemporary. Now, this garage door has very clean lines, it's simple in its design, and it's perfect for this raised ranch home that has vertical siding. Now, a more traditional, maybe 2-story farmhouse might look better with the carriage door that has the X layout for the overboards and mullions in the windows. And instead of a combination of color on the door, a more traditional look would be to keep all of the elements white. Now, here's a close-up of raised panels that look almost like beadboard and the rounded window insets. This is on a very nice colonial style home. Now, here's a different treatment. This one is on a home that is done in stucco and stone. So you see what I mean about matching your garage door to the style of your home. Style isn't the only part of it. Let's talk about color. Now, with color, you can either blend or contrast. Now, these garage doors face the street, so they have a major impact on the look and feel of this home's exterior. By selecting white to match the siding of the house, they have a consistent overall look, making the house look bigger. I mean, doesn't the surface of this garage door just look huge? Now, here's another one that blends in beautifully. It looks like the doors are painted in the same colors as the painted siding of the house. Now, they don't match the brick, but they blend so well, they look like they were meant to be. Now, if I can go back to my little farmhouse picture where we have a lot of contrast, these doors do not face the street. The street is out this way, but the doors match the white trim around the dark green house, and this makes perfect sense. The color story on this house is all about high contrast. The trim is very white against a very dark forest green, so the white garage door is the perfect addition. Now, if you're unsure of what to do with your garage door when it comes to color, blending with your home's siding or matching the trim is always a safe bet. And if you're thinking about trying a new color on your garage door, well, let's get Matt in here to show you how to paint it the right way.
All right, call me in for the tough job, right?
That's exactly right.
Now, this is a nice weekend project. If you have a weekend and you want to change the color of your garage door, you can do it nicely. Of course, this is a newer door that we're looking at, so you probably wouldn't want to paint this.
No.
But as the door starts to age and it gets a little weather beaten, you can paint it. Now, one thing I do want to recommend, make sure that you do want to paint it, so that once you go to paint, you can't go
You're-
back.
that's right.
Also, make sure you read the manufacturer's warranty, because sometimes if you paint the door, it may void the warranty. So make sure you read that very carefully. Now, this is a newer door that we have in front of us, but I can show you the technique as far as painting your own door.
Okay.
And of course, you would be painting it with the panels up like this. You wouldn't take the garage door apart, but for demonstrations, I have this panel here. Main thing for prep is make sure it's clean. When you do any type of painting, the prep is the key. So all I do is to make sure all the dirt and the hand oils and any grease is off the door, and I just use a little dish soap. You know, just a
Get the
couple,
hose out?
you could wash it down, then take a little dish soap, and you can take a damp sponge. You just want to make sure you wash off all the dirt and grime and get that all off before you do any painting, because if you do have dirt, the paint won't adhere.
Okay.
So you want to make sure you do that, Sherry. The next thing you want to do also, if you have any dings or dents, you want to make sure that if it goes down to the metal, you want to spot prime that. And I'd use an oil-based primer. Just take a little brush, this is a foam brush that you can use, and just hit those spots with a little touch-up paint. You don't have to
Sure.
paint the whole door with the primer, but that way, when you do put your latex paint over it, that rust won't bleed through if it does bleed through. So
good.
you've got the door completely cleaned, it's dried off, and if you noticed here, I've masked off. Now this is a little plastic thermal break, and this is what you want to look for when you purchase a garage door, these thermal breaks. This is what brings the two panels together, and that stops that thermal bridging of cold air going out from your garage or into your garage. So this is
Nice.
critical, but you do want to mask that off. So you have that masked off. The next thing you want to do is you always want to work a panel at a time. So I want to ask you to raise the door for me.
Okay.
Now see how this is divided up into panels? I'll tell you what, whoa. You want to divide the panels up, and you want to work a panel at a time. But you see this edge here? You need to paint that edge while the door is up. So you would take your brush like this, and you would cut that edge in. But you also notice I did a little bit of masking here,
Right.
because you don't want to get your beautiful trim, any paint on your trim.
Okay.
All right, so let's move to this door. Now you want to cut in. Now cutting in is basically taking a paintbrush, and if you notice here, I have a lighter color paint. Now if you would go to a darker color paint on a garage door, you could actually cause that garage door to expand and contract. So I always recommend, if you are going to paint, go to lighter colors. The darker color, especially
attract the
in the
heat.
sun, it'll make the dot, and that could void your warranty, so go light.
Okay.
So I'm going to cut in here. You can see this panel here. Now you could mask this off, but if you just take some patience here, you could just cut this in. Now if you get any paint on there, no biggie, just wipe it off with a damp rag. But you would cut this all the way in, so you'd work in through your panels. You would cut this panel in, you would cut this top in with your brush, and then all you need to do, Sherry, is come back with a roller. This is how easy it is. And then you would just roll this panel out. And you can see how that beautiful texture, that stays on there. Now I do use a latex paint. Don't use any oil-based paints. You want to use a latex, but you can see how fast that would go.
That looks like a project I could do. Quick and easy.
Absolutely. So you want to cut in your whole panel, your entire panel,
Okay.
paint it all out, let it dry, and then move up to the next panel. Now you want to make sure you tarp the floor so you don't get any paint on your floor. And you just move the panels up and down, and as they dry, you'll be able to touch it, and you can just paint the whole garage door. And then just keep moving the panels up, let it dry, let the paint set. If you bring it too close together too soon, they'll stick together and your paint will peel off.
We don't want that.
And then when you're all done, you want to go back and you want to remove your masking tape as fast as you can. Don't let the paint dry on the tape too long. Peel that tape away, and you've got a brand new color for your garage door, and you can see it really enhances the look. Now, of course, that's for older garage doors. I wouldn't recommend painting a brand new door,
No.
unless, of course, like Sherry says, the decorator in her, if you want to try to match a color to your existing color in your house.
Right,
so
right.
It's really quite simple. It takes you, I would say, about 4 hours. The main part of your time is actually selecting the color, and you know how long that takes.
That's right. But it's a great weekend project.
It's a great weekend project. Now, are you going to help me paint this? It doesn't need paint. I told you that.
Around the House with Matt and Shari has been brought to you in part by
Haas Door, a Knopfsinger company. Open the door to endless possibilities. HaasDoor.com